Oh, well, I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. Processing, processing, processing. Yesterday, I put out a video. It was yesterday, the day before, about discomfort. I don't know. Days just seem to string together. So I do these RUMI card readings every month, right, for my own soul, and I share it with others. So yesterday, I was doing a video for the card that I pulled for this month. I know it's halfway through, but what's time? So I got freaking really amped about this card that I pulled from this RUMI deck. It's probably going to come across backwards, and that's all right. But I got this card that I pulled from the RUMI deck that freaking just freaking moved me. Moved me. And it talked about honoring the courage of our love. So right now I'm on location. What you're seeing here, this green wall, this is New Wellness Neighborhood, this space where I help to shift shit. Physically, mentally, emotionally. So this is the green wall. Probably doing some more videos behind, in front of this, like, hey. But listen, this is the card that I pulled. Let's get down to business. This is the card that I pulled. The courage of your love. Now, when I pulled this, I was like, wow, what a visually appealing card this is. Visually appealing. Now, when I read it, that's when the doo-doo hit the fan. So I'm going to read you some pieces of this. Renee, yes, I'm calling today. Yes. And yo, you and I are going to talk about this because, like, whoo-wee. Renee's my buddy from Gratitude. Just came back from Italy. What's up, Renee? So in this piece, it talks about the courage of our love. And it talked about a young heart first. And this is what resonated with me because I feel like my heart's still young. Okay. It says a young heart wants comfort for the beloved. So I can want comfort for my kids. I can want comfort for my loved ones. And comfort. Didn't I just talk about this yesterday? Meredith, what's up? Oh, shock. Girl, I've been praying for you. Oh, man. Sending you good vibes. It's so good to see. Oh, I love your post with Gavin. Oh, man. Loving this. Good to see you. So listen, the young heart can want comfort only for the beloved. And we cannot bear the thought of pain without them. Oh, snap. Brian Jones, what's up? Daryl Moon. Oh, wow. This is good. I'm glad you guys are here. So you cannot bear the thought of pain without the beloved, right? And our own suffering is easier than bearing the suffering of a beloved. So when I saw this, I was like, God damn, man, this is like me to a T because I would rather see myself suffer rather than see someone I love suffer. What up, Pete? What up, Pete Jones? Daryl, I'm about to drop it, man. So I would rather see, and when I think about this, I'm like, wow, when I do this, I create this space of resentment within myself because I'm like, well, when is anybody going to take care of me? So when I was reading this, I was like, wow, it said the young heart grows with experience and it becomes an elder, an ancient heart, tempered by grace, rendered strong with compassion. This great heart can hold the suffering of the world within it, yet still find space for peace, for sweetness, for tenderness, and for rapture. And when I was reading this, I was like, God damn, this is right on point, right around Mother's Day. And I was just thinking about the love of my mother. Like how, God, man, she wanted the best for everyone, man, for everyone. And a lot of times it was at her own sacrifice, her own happiness. So what got me here with this one was it said the path to freeing the heart from the effects of a fearful mind is an initiation into great power. And if you guys have been following my video, recently I wouldn't say obsessed, but I've been fascinated by this concept of grandiosity, this big energy that lives within us that we will repress, will deny, will push down, and it comes out sideways. It bubbles up like a cauldron. when we try to call upon it. So the thing when we do this, when we get on this path to freeing our heart of all this pain, there's going to be lapses that happen before the heart grows strong enough to overpower old patterns and surrender without condition or equivocation. Now, this really got me because I said, wow, let's think about it. When you go for changes or when you go to take care of yourself, old patterns are going to come up. Old patterns are going to try to run your life. And just like I talked about yesterday, that discomfort, we're going to want to run back into discomfort, whatever that looks like. Now, the thing is, when it talked about this, thank you, brother. Thank you, Mr. Holm. Appreciate you, Tyrone. Thank you, man. Now, listen, one of the things that I wanted to really put out here because I feel like people need it. And I was talking to a client this morning and I could feel the frustration. I could feel the depths of where she was coming from. And I was like, man, I got to get this thing out here because she may not be the only one. Her and I may not be the only ones that can benefit from this. So this goes on to say, we are ancient. Our hearts are older than the mountains, and we are being asked to free ourselves of the too small loves of the youthful heart and come to understand and accept the wisdom of our mature heart. Now check this. The mature heart within us is not cursed with hardness or detachment. So basically, like if you've ever felt like you've been rejected, that feeling of like, well, F them. They didn't deserve me anyway. There's that hardness and detachment. I know for me, I can't speak for you. I want to put my heart under a freaking metal vest when I get hurt. Last year I had a hurt in my relationship. I curled up, cried, did all kinds of things, man. I was in a deep place and I detached. I was resentful. But with compassion, this mature heart, with compassion and tenacious devotion to the cause that is most real and matters the most. So the mature heart is not cursed with hardness or detachment. It's cursed with compassion and tenacious devotion, just like a mama's love, right? To the cause that is most real and matters. And you know what's most real and matters? The quest for life of the human soul, your human soul. That's what matters. Now check this, man. This is what really got me, man. And this is what really started firing me up. It said, trust in the courage of your heart. You're not cruel. You are not hard. You are not careless. You are passion personified. I got chills on that because a lot of times I don't want to step into that kind of love and compassion for the fear of rejection, for the fear that people aren't going to love me the same way. Now, when I saw this, I said, damn, it said, allow yourself to be the lion, not the lamb. Stand true in your own heart. So whatever's calling you, stand true in that junk. Stand true in it. Now, this also says this is coming. This is where this Oracle card is coming with some guidance. So I'm going to hit you guys with this and I'm going to give you an activity and then I'm off this thing. It says you are not to give into less than you are worth, or those shaming stories of others of our culture that would cast your regal lion nature into the falsehood of beliefs that you have no choice or power. That's bullshit. You have a ton of power. You have a ton of choice. And there's culture and society, old patterns that are telling you otherwise. And it's all lies. It's all lies. All of it. You are not to give into the idea that you are a victim, cannot free yourself from the suffering, that you are less than any other. These are petty deceptions unworthy of you. Unworthy. So it says like this, right? RUMI says when those things come up, roar at them like a lion. Roar at them so hard that it melts the glue that keeps them together. Melts it. Think about that. Like when you come up against the obstacle, especially when it's something around love, because I feel like in our culture, we want to romanticize that shit. We want to romanticize it. Like, oh, love, like it's some rom-com. Oh, it's not always like that. Love can be ugly. Love can be messy. That's what it is. And when something comes up to you and says otherwise, or says your love should look like a certain way, or you've done this, or shaming you, or you think, or culture says you're supposed to be a certain way, it's bullcrap. It's a lie. It's deception. So listen, this thing comes with a message here. And again, I'm going to give you guys an activity to do, and then I may look a little crazy, and I really don't care. So it says the oracle comes with a message for you. You have a challenge before you, or that you are now moving through. But you have what is necessary to succeed and overcome it. So no matter how long it has endured, no matter how long this struggle that you're going through is up for you, guess what? You have what's necessary to succeed and overcome it. No matter how big you built this challenge to be in your mind, no matter how unsolvable, your victory is imminent. You are now empowered. Know that you're empowered to succeed. And here's what's required within to do it. The time for your victory is drawing near. The time for your victory is drawing near. This right here, this really cemented it for me, because I don't know about you all, but as I'm going through shift and change, it is uncomfortable. As I'm going through new challenges in life, it's uncomfortable. And I really want to curl up in my bed with my old school teddy bear from when I was 7. Okay, that's what I want to do. But that's not what's coming up for me. Boys, I love you too, brother. That's not what's necessary right now. What's necessary is for us to step fully into this love within us, because you know what? If we didn't have this love like this, we wouldn't have the people that we have in our lives. We wouldn't have these situations to help us grow into this mature heart. Whoo-wee! Yeah, this thing is meaty, and I tell you what, if anybody likes Oracle cards, get the RUMI deck. Get the RUMI deck pronto. So now here's what's up, right? So this is all fine and dandy, right? Fine and dandy stuff. But this is where the rubber hits the road, because I'm telling you, after you see this video, you're going to be like, yeah, Paul, the courage of my love. Yes. Great. How do we tap into it? Because the young heart's going to want to come up whenever something comes that challenges us, pushes us up against a container, drags us back into the old patterns and habits that we've had, drags us into that what culture says love should be, or like that detachment of the young heart. This is what we get to do. We get to step into it like a lion. We're not lambs. We're not lambs. So look. RUMI deck always has an honoring ritual. So here's what we're going to do. Whoever's watching this still, whoever's watches this later, we are going to open our mouth and we're going to create our sound of truth. Now this is why we do this. This is going to help us as far as keeping in line with our divine victory. Tapping into that place within us that knows our mature heart exists. Tapping into that place within us that gets us to step to those old patterns that are trying to pull us back, or those old ways. So what I'm going to have you do, I want you to close your eyes, or you can keep looking at me as you're doing this, and I'm going to have you breathe into your belly. Breathe deep. Put your hands there as a little biofeedback if you want. Breathe deep into your belly. Breathe into it. Inhale. Oh, yeah. Now listen, your sound of truth, I want you to let out your sound of truth. And in that sound, you will hear the mightiest of all roaring things coming into you saying, I am with you. And it could be divine. Like for me, when I did this yesterday, I felt my mom with me. I did it in the garden too. God damn, I started crying. So I want you to breathe into your belly. And when you breathe into your belly, let out a sound of truth. Let out a sound of truth. And you know what? I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you several because I don't mind looking silly on this bad boy. So as you inhale, my sound of truth. Yeah, buddy. If you were standing in front of me, you feel that hot breath melt that can melt glue those old patterns, bringing them to dust. Bring them to that space that fertilizes the ground underneath us to create new space. Here's another way this sound could look like for you. It could be Mama Sema Sama Makusa. You could whistle. It doesn't matter. Whatever sound comes out for you, that's your truth. That's your truth. So listen, stand up, be in that space of truth, the courage of your heart, because I'm telling you, the heart is the most powerful muscle that we have. Love is the most powerful force. I'm still learning to figure this out. So just because I'm saying it, don't think I'm up on some pedestal. I'm one big toe ahead of you. So I'm learning. As I learn, you learn, we learn. Step into the courage of your love. because it's beautiful and it's divine and it's like a lion roaring in the land. It's resonant. Stay in that space. Love fearlessly. Love unconditionally. Love with don't be detached from it. And I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to myself, because I'll know, like, in a year I'll see this video, I'll be like, I needed this today. Step into your love. It's courageous. Okay? In any condition or situation or something or anything that someone's put on you, it's a lie. It's a deceptive space. Move from it. Roar to it. Roar to it. Whoo! Mama say, Mama sama, makusa. Rumi, I want to thank you. And listen, speaking of the courage of the love, because when this video is done, it's the day before Mother's Day. So I want to give this to the women that stand strong in being solid in their kids' life, loving fearlessly, and especially the single mothers out there. I was raised by my mom. God, man, she loved fearlessly. And a lot of times, like, she may have felt that her love wasn't enough. And she didn't love herself. She didn't step into the courage this courage of love for herself. So I'm inviting you mothers that are doing this on your own, step into the courage of love for yourself. Because that resource that you have within you is what fuels those beautiful beings that you raise into this world. And with that, I call on the energy of my mother, call on the energy of Aunt Vivette, call on the energy of Dulcie. I call on the energy of my kids' mothers. And for the got a call, had to come back. I call on the energy of below, Pachamama, the eternal mother. I call on you. Someone's trying to get through. Pull in these energies. The courage of your love is so powerful. Step into it. Roar. Create that sound of truth for yourself. And I'm out, man. Love your mothers. Love the feminine energy within yourself. Love it all. Love yourself. Step into that courage for self, because it's a beautiful thing. I love you guys, man. And thanks for always sticking in this with me. I've been doing this for several years, and you guys have been by my side. Thank you for being here as I'm documenting this journey that I'm on. Be well, everybody. Courage of your love is powerful. And I'm out.